Welcome to Calvin George Fisher Memorial Field. My name is Joe Marie, and tonight we're broadcasting a Medfield TV presentation of a very special game here for all of us here in Medfield. The current 2015 Medfield Varsity Warriors are facing up against a star-studded alumni team. This is a great night for the town of Medfield and the proud lacrosse tradition that it has brought in through the years. The 2015 team is as highly regarded as any team has ever been in Medfield lacrosse. They come in at 16-2 with an astounding no losses in the state. The first team to do so since, I believe, 2008. That's right, no losses in the state. The program's first victory over Duxbury, and they today received the #1 seed overall in the Division II tournament. But they have to wait till next week before the game starts. So this is going to be a great way for them to stay busy against phenomenal competition. Right now you see the goaltender. That's number 33, Robert Trieber, graduated last year. Robert was a high school All-American, now a goaltender at Tufts University, a phenomenal player. He's going to be tough to solve for the Warriors all night. And it's safe to say that no matter who the Warriors of Medfield play in this year's tournament, they won't have quite nearly as much talent as this year's alumni do. Out to take the face-off, I believe we have Jack Henry Vara facing up against Brian Bissell. Medfield's always had a great tradition of talented face-off men. These two are no different. On the wings for the Warriors is number 6, Will Murphy, matched up with Ben Ruzzo, a tenacious ground ball man now playing Club Lax at Northeastern. On the far side, I believe we have Hurley digging in. Oh, and the face-off won easily by Vara. Oh, ball knocked out by Donnelly, the Honey Badger, as they call him. One of the more exciting players you get to watch play on the lacrosse field. Just all-out aggressive all the time, and he plays fast as Trieber begins to clear. Trieber will carry over. Flips over to Ben Ruse. Oh, ball flubbed a little bit, but he'll scoop it up calmly, and the alums begin their possession. Ben Ruse, a very gritty player, as I had mentioned before, does all the dirty work. Flips over to Ed Foster, 2010 graduate, phenomenally skilled attackman, who played his collegiate ball at Ohio Wesleyan, guarded by Greg Robinson. But the ball is out. Matt Bletzer chasing after. Bletzer will scoop it up to begin the offensive possession. Bletzer runs in, switches hands. Garfield working on Bletzer. Matt Bletzer, known best for his game-winning goal in the semifinals in 2010 against Hingham. Oh, ball fired over. Alum showing some sloppiness early. Bill Thompson racing for the ball against David Fitz. Thompson, a 2009 high school All-American who played his ball at Gettysburg University, and just a tremendous defender by all regards. Sam Hurley holding it now. Sam, one of the seniors on this year's team, finds touch, and the Warriors will begin their offensive possession. Reflips over to Trieber. Trieber to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald in the corner. Over to Hurley. Hurley, guarded by Ruzzo. Gets by. Looking, fires, misses. And the backup there by Fitz. The alumni, while very talented, have not played together ever. So this is going to be quite the endeavor for them to undertake, trying to formulate and get all that talent into a cohesive unit here. McCordick to initiate. McCordick going right. Flips to Fitz. Fitz fires over. Reef ball out in the middle. And there's going to be chase. And it's the alums' ball. Both teams showing almost nerves so far. I mean, for these graduates, they've been out of school for so long. It's been quite a while. And it's quite the undertaking to take. So Kyle Foster, collegiate All-American, now going to work. Fires through open. Matt Bletzer drops on the crease, but the ball is scooped up by Ed Foster. Knockout to Kyle Foster. Kyle gives to Ed. Swings to Matt. Matt guarded by the short stick midfielder, sophomore in high school, Andrew Garfield. Bletzer working inside. Holds on, swoops and scores, beating Gately. And that's one on the board for the alumni as Matt Bletzer just went to the rack. And with 9:24 to play here in the first, alumni 1, current Warriors 0. Bissell, one of the all-time greats to man the face-off X. Again, matching with Var, who's had almost as much success as he had over the course of his career. It's really a pleasure. I've seen both of these two play. They're phenomenal face-off men, and you're sure it's going to be tight at the X all night. They dig in. Bissell and Vara. Vara wins it again. That's 2 in a row, but the ball is out. Will Murphy holding. A senior bound for Skidmore in the fall. Gives to John McLean. A BU's to commit. McLean holds, rips. Oh! Misses the net. Trieber there. McLean has a rip. The alums got lucky on that miscommunication. Matt Trieber guarded by Ben Cox. Phenomenal player at UVM this year. And McCordy to initiate again, guarded by Matt Kroll, the former high school All-American, phenomenal player. From Fitz to McLean. McLean holding, worked on by Phil Thompson. To McCordick, dodging on Mastro Giovanni. Mastro gets his hands on. And the shot missed there, and the Warriors will maintain possession. Fitz came off the crease, looking to create something. 8:11 to play here in the first. Treber holding. Swims inside. Guarded by Cox. Rips, fires, save! Treber. Nice save there by Treber. Begins the clear attempt, looking to find Danny Gold, the high school All-American. Very talented long stick midfielder. And Gold brings the ball over as the alums begin their possession. Gold holds. Rips in. Gold shoots, misses. And the Warriors begin their clear. Robinson gives to Hurley. Hurley holding. Hurley gives to Fitzgerald. Current Warriors trying to drum up some offense, but again, this is a tough lineup to move on. So many talented players. McLean guarded by short stick midfielder Mastro Giovanni. McLean cuts left, looking, still holds, rolls back. They flip up top to number 3. I believe that's Timothy Warren. Ball knocked out, Tim Warren. And a scrapper with Frasca. Frasca, another phenomenal player. I believe RPI's leader in ground balls. Just a nightmare defensive matchup. Lavore holding. And Treber. Treber swings over. From Warren to Lavore. Warriors beginning their offensive set. Still looking to find a crease in the defense. And they're just moving around, rotating, trying to find a crease in the defense, like we had said. You have to be patient. Treber spins inside, ball knocked loose. Ball's on the ground. It's going to be a scrum for it. Ball still on the ground. Oh, knocked down by Cox. Phenomenal defensive play there. Treber got a little hasty, and the ball's out again. Reef scoops it up. It's been sloppy thus far. I mean, that's to be expected from the alums. They haven't been playing together. Finds Fitzgerald down beneath goal line even. Flips over to Reef. Reef with a short stick midfielder. Going to have to try and initiate something here. Mastro Giovanni played his collegiate lacrosse at Assumption. Reef spinning. Finds an open Treber, but the ball is dropped. Warriors are going to have to dig in here. Again, they've controlled the ground ball game, but nothing to show for it is to give over to Lavore. Lavore fires, missing just wide. I think the alums are getting quite tired down on the offensive end. They've just been standing there. Tommy Sears in the game now. Tommy, a phenomenal athlete with a penchant for ACL injuries, as Lavore fires off someone's helmet. Ball knocked out, alum ball. They had no backup there. 5:01 to play. The alums begin their clear. They flip over to Kroll. Not Kroll, a pre-med student at Bowdoin or something like that. Some nerd classes, but phenomenal student, phenomenal athlete. He works in our Will Murphy. These two are very familiar from each other. They played together just last year. Tommy trying to find over to Ed Foster. Foster holds, finds Sears in the middle of that, who misses. Great pass there by Ed Foster. It looks like it must have gotten stuck in Tommy's stick. Matt Bletzer to begin the dodge, working in on Matt Dole. Bletzer, beautiful feed to Melvin, who off the crossbar. Again, phenomenal feed there by Matt Bletzer. Flicks across to Ed Foster, but it's knocked down. Scooped up by Murph. Will Murphy's ground ball skills. He's a two-way star, hockey player and a lacrosse player, and you really see that every time there's a ball on the ground. 31 Nauman to clear, trying to make sure they have the correct numbers. Gives it over to John McLean. McLean will begin the possession. Guard by Donnelly. Donnelly is a long stick midfielder at Roger Williams University. Like we said earlier, just a tenacious defensive presence. McCordick to dodge on Leiden. Leiden played club lacrosse at the University of Miami. Tough place down there. Tough place. Flips over to McCordick. McCordick from up top, cuts right, slide comes from Donnelly, fires off the stick of Trieber. Warriors retain possession. 3:23 to play here in the first, still 1-0. Find McCordick with time and space. McCordick holds, fires across to McLean, who fires wide. They haven't been able to put a lot of shots on target, save for the one, obviously, that Trieber saved. They've had some quality opportunities, just no conversion. Fitz guarded by Thompson. Thompson said earlier that he went for a hike on Sunday, which was the most physical activity he's had in several weeks. McCordick feeds to Reef. Reef steps in, gives to McLean. McLean rips over the head of Trieber yet again. They've had plenty of quality shots, but still nothing to show for it. Over to McLean yet again, guarded by Donnelly. I believe that's Matt Cahill there in the maroon pin, though you wouldn't know because he forgot to put a number on it. Scooped up there by Reef, who fires again over the head of Trieber. They are skittish. They have clearly put up more shots than the Alumni. They just have not hit the net. It's like an off-shooting night in basketball. Trieber going to the cage against Cox. Cox, again, one of the leading ground ball men in the entire country this past season. McCordick holding, looking at something, anything going. Fires off the crossbar, rings it. And they'll retain possession. Oh, and it looks like they're giving it to the Alumni. Looks like Matt Bledsoe is closest. And after about a 5-minute possession, the Alumni will retain. Kyle Foster back on the field, the All-American. Gives back to Phil Thompson. Phil Thompson flips to a wide-open Matt Cahill, the only one on the field in maroon. Cahill, fantastic passer. Seems to despise shooting the ball. You know, the shot's not bad. Kyle Foster looking to get things started. Feeds over to Melvin. Melvin had a phenomenal season at Bates. Looks to put on some weight, too. Over to Derek Etzcorn, who drops the pass as it is scooped up by Sam Hurley's wheels. Quick kid. He's got to push against this lineup. They look a little out of sorts right now. Hurley holds and then feeds to Reef. Reef to Fitz. Fitz to Trieber. Over to Hurley, who will initiate. Hurley sprints in right, has his hands free, fires, missing again. Trieber got hit there. You hear Coach Isaac yelling I.O., that means instant offense, as McCordick fires and hits another post. Folks, the statistical odds even of taking this many shots and missing this many are not great. As John McLean scoops up the ground ball, got hit, and now Matt Dold will bring it over. Great tenacious effort here being shown by the Warriors, showing if nothing else, they're not intimidated by the star-studded Alumni. McLean holds, gets his hands free, shoots, scores! And we're knotted up at 1 here with 45 seconds to play in the first. Again, after what felt like a 10-minute possession there for the Warriors, they finally have something to show for it, and they're going to have to go back to the drawing board. That's as intimidating a defense as you'll see. Across college ranks, that's impressive. The defense of Danny Gold, Phil Thompson, and Ben Cox. Phenomenal high school players, better college players, and of course Trieber backstopping the goaltender for the #1 ranked Tufts Jumbos. Bissell now attempting to redeem himself the face-off X. Clearly too much social media in today's society, folks. Bissell digging in the VAR. VAR gets him again. 3-0 against a starting face-off man from Williams. It's got to put the fear of God. And Coach Ice will call a timeout with 33 seconds to play. The Alumni need to go back to the drawing board here. They seem to be already winded. I see Matt Cahill sucking down some water. Talked a lot with Cahill. He said he's been in the gym about once over the past 2 months, which, not bad. Not bad, but probably not in the kind of physical condition that these guys are. So they're huddling up, trying to make some kind of a plan to get the ball back, get a shot, and to break this tie by the end of the first. So 33.4 seconds remaining. It's Alums 1, Warriors 1. This is a good situation for Coach Ice to be able to work on. I mean, this is going to come up in an important game over this postseason run. And they put themselves in such a phenomenal position, 16-2, only losses to ranked teams nationally in Ridgefield out of Connecticut and to the #1 team in California, Foothill Santa Ana, who took the long trek out here, barely defeating Medfield 14-13 in overtime. More goals than Medfield would have liked to surrender, but when you see the best competition, it's never a bad thing. It is never a negative to play against teams like this. And, you know, this is such a special community event, like we've been saying. It speaks to the teams that have been built over the years. Just powerful, talented teams. The alumni that really care about the program. You don't get that in a lot of towns. Kids coming back to play to help the current kids prepare. That's a special tenet of Medfield and Medfield Lacrosse in particular. That being said, you know the alums want to win. You know the current kids want to win. I was talking to Andrew Melvin on the way over. Melvin was undaunted, even cocky to a point, but that's just Andrew. Brash, bold, willing to come out and lay the hammer. As Hurley flips it over to McLean, guarded by Donnelly. Donnelly getting right up on him. 27 seconds here. Trying to get one final shot before the end of the first. 23 seconds now. Treber holding next. Treber feeds to Hurley. Hurley guarded by Danny Gold. It looks like they're inverting, almost a zone for the Alumni. Flips it to Treber on the invert. Treber moving. 12 seconds to play, guarded by Danny Gold. Rolls in. Gold. Great play. Save. Treber caught and missed the net with McLean with 5.6 to go. Golden opportunity there. Great defense by Danny Gold. Great body play by Treber. So with 5.6 to play, the clock starting. 4 seconds. 3 seconds. Treber holds. Flips in front of the net. Drop brief. And that is how this first quarter will end in a 1-1 tie. Not bad. You saw a real great flash of brilliance there from Matt Bletzer in the first moment. But other than that, the alumni have been relatively quiet. I assume as this game goes on, they'll gel together. Either that or they'll become completely exhausted and fall apart. Definitely one or the other, just depending on physical condition, a whole number of things. We see 2012 attackman, now Williams Connorati's down there coaching the troops. So if they lose, I think it's fair to blame Connor here. You know, as the coach, you just got to do your job. I'm hearing an earful right now from the parents of 2014 midfielder and 2013 midfielder, Mr. and Mrs. Russo, friends of the program. I'm absolutely hearing from them now, but great people, a couple of great kids, and Ben and Matt, even though I hope Matt's not listening so he never hears that. Matt's out in Boulder right now. I guess he missed his connecting flight. He would have loved to be here. So I guess we're stuck with Ben, which isn't the worst thing in the world. Some subs now on attack, and the 2014 Medfield attack unit state champions just a year ago. We have Louis Capucci, Jack Isif, an Ithaca College student right now, and a lacrosse player, son of Coach Isif. That shouldn't surprise you. These aren't very similar last names. And, of course, Louis Capucci and who else? Matt Pucci. It's those Puccis. You're going to get them confused, so will I. You know, Bissell's been hearing it from Kroll over on the sidelines. Matt Kroll, a known loudmouth, likes to get in people's faces, people's heads. And, you know, him and Bissell are as close as they get for two people that don't speak very frequently. And they're digging in. And again, Vara has him. But the ball's on the ground. Frasca fighting for it. Frasca excels at holding body position, working the stick, and yelling crazy stuff. So they'll have possession, excuse me. So now Hagen, a beautiful duck through by Hagen. He got away with that because he's 4'6", but just ducked through the two goals coming. And it looks like they're going to have a man-up opportunity for the Alumni. So they're subbing in the starters on attack. So this is as scary a man-up unit as you'll see. We're going to have Foster, Kroll, Hagen, phenomenal finisher, Bletzer, Bletzer, Melvin, the two Foster twins, Kroll and Hagen. You got three guys that shoot rockets, one of the best finishers in the Tri-Valley League that I've seen in Tyler Hagen, just a great scorer. Talented Dodgers and Foster and Melvin. Safe to see they won't see a face-up unit or man-up unit like this for quite some time. They feed down to Foster, Foster to Melvin. Melvin holding, gives to Bletzer. Bletzer up top to Foster. Over to Kroll. Kroll holds. Gives to Hagen over Hagen's head. And they were just trying to win. They're hearing it from the current Warriors here. 11-20 to play, 1-1. And Garfield's just going to leg it. They say this kid's the next Usain Bolt. I'm making that up, but he's really fast. That kid can run, and Fitzy will hold it, and they're a man down. So maybe they'll try and double here, try and get the ball back, or perhaps just stand their defense in the unit and prep for the upcoming possession. So, Ben Ruzzo guarding John McClain. Ben had a phenomenal year last year, probably one of the top short stick midfielders in the state. Now guarding McCordick. Donnelly on McClain. Digging in is Ruzzo. Nice play there by Ruzzo. They tie up the hands of McCordick, a talented shooter. And John McClain will begin the offensive possession. Feeds down to Trieber. 5 seconds left on the penalty, according to Coach Isop's billowing voice. Coach Ice treating this as he would a real game. I told him before he'd look tense. No need to be concerned, as I was under the impression it's a scrimmage, and he turned and fired back in that steely manner. It's a game. So I was confused, so that was nice to hear as Hurley begins, guarded by Cox. Oh, ball on the ground. Nice stick work there by Cox to force the error. But McCordick holds. McCordick to begin the dodge. Gives to McClain. McClain on Donnelly. Oh, ball. Beautiful pass to McClain, who shoots and scores. McCordick, excuse me there. Low and away. 9:47 to play, and the stalemate has been broken. Beautiful rip there by McCordick, and the Alums got to regroup. They're down 2-1 here in the second quarter. Bissell's got to dig in here at the X. As good as VAR's been this season, Bissell's a year removed. Bissell's been facing off against some fantastic competition. You'd expect him at some point to return to form. Cox on the wings. And they're double pulling. This is here to make things difficult for Vara with Blake Frask and Ben Cox on the wings. Again, though, he's got the ball, but here's where things are going to get interesting. The advantage of a double pull is essentially it doesn't matter if you win the face-off. You then have to deal with the two players bearing down on you, just trying to beat the living daylights out of you, which Ben Cox and Blake Frask excel at. Frask, I think, enjoys it, which is another issue, but great players, physical players. Fitz to dodge on Jack Keller. Going left. Fitz with space. Gives to Reef. Reef thought he was going to let one go. They're giving it to Nigel, and they need a smart switch there to get Cox on Reef. So now Dan's Lavore and Bissell, two face-off men, going up against each other. Over to Trieber. Trieber out by Thompson. Shoots! Scores through the legs of his brother! 3-1. And the Alumni have to get it together here, folks. Robert Trieber beaten by his younger brother, Matt. I imagine that will be a topic of conversation at the dinner table. Savara's going over. They're parking now. They're comparing his performance to the one against Diaz when I believe he won every single face-off. We'll see if Mastro Giovanni, the Assumption College, just graduated Assumption College face-off man, has any better luck as he digs in with VAR. And no, he does not. But, again, Cox out there winning the ground ball. Murphy got in on his hands. Again, VAR gets the face-off. Oh, ball dropped by Capucci. Ball on the ground. Capucci scoops it up, running for his life. Gives it out to Isif. Isif fields over to Kelleher. They only have, I believe, one midfielder, and Donnelly's on the field as an attacking threat right now. He wants a goal. No, he's calling for help now as Kyle Foster comes back on the field. Again, they have not had a ton of possession, but the possessions they have had have been less than stellar as Isif works to next. Over to Kyle Foster. Feeds to Kroll. Oh, a beautiful swim move by Kroll, running down the left side of the field. Oh, popped by Nauman. Kroll's got to have some vision there. Got to get rid of the ball. When they feed through to Garfield, who yet again just outrages everybody. Their possessions haven't been sustained, and they haven't been particularly good. The Alums, that is. And as a result, with 7:44 to play, they're down 3-1. Trieber going to the cage on Cox. Spins. Oh. Treber's having a boatload of success out here, playing loose and free. This is the most tenacious I've seen him in quite some time, working up against, again, a real phenomenal player in Ben Cox. Thompson guarding Fitz. I believe Mark Nevins at this point, excuse me. Him and Dave are on the same. Oh no, Dave's in there too. Hurley looking for the pop. Hurley still holding, still holding. Feeds down to Fitz. Fitz to McCordick. Up top to McLean, who will dodge on the collegiate All-American Kyle Foster. Goes left, looks for the pop. It's McCordick. McCordick rips. Save Treber. Made that look easy. Treber, again, he's been facing some great players at Tufts. Kyle Foster sprinting. Everyone giving chase. Ball bounces loose. And not another unforced error. Excuse me, that one was more of a forced error, but another error for the Alumni. 6:45 to play. They begin the clear. McCordick. Over to Treber. Treber had a phenomenal season thus far, and you know he's excited for the big playoff run to come. He's missed a lot of his sophomore campaign with a nagging ankle injury. LeVore dodges top side. 6:17 to play. Feeds down to Fitzgerald, to Sheldon Mark Nevins. Over to Tim Warren, brother of Chris Warren. Never played lacrosse. Chris wouldn't have been any good as fires and misses. Tim Warren showing a lot of aggression out here. That's what we like to see. Treves on Cox. Excuse me. Cox guarding Trever. Danny Goldston. Roll away. Give it to Zavor, who will dodge on Derek Etzko with that long flowing mane. Shoots, saves. Trever, not sure what that ricocheted off. They ricocheted off something as they flick to Frasca long. And another turnover. A sloppy clearing issue this time. Easy clear to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald chased by Frasca. McLean holding. McLean dodging, rips, fires high. Again, they've controlled possession most of this one. It's been a clear difference thus far. Over to Tim Warren. Warren to McLean. McLean dodging on Thompson. Thompson giving chase. Hitting. It's going to be a tougher matchup than I dare say he'll see in the playoffs. Scooped up by Nevins, who tried to go behind the back, but the ball's on the ground. Ground ball won by Treber, who rings a post. That's the third for those of you counting at home. For the current Warriors, who have to be thrilled with the performance they've put on thus far. Cox gives to Gold. Danny Gold, a phenomenal long stick midfielder at Amherst University. And we're dodging with a long stick right in front of the cage. Danny Gold finishes. A tremendous display of skill there from Gold, who juked out a Medfield defender using the long pole. That's his pretty move, as you'll see. And he's jogging back now. I think he looks a little tired. Potentially more run than he's done in some time. I won't pass judgment. I'd be pretty winded after that run, too. So now back out to the X. The Warriors remain dual pulling, this time with Cox and Donnelly. And all right, the Warriors answer Hurley and Murphy on the wings, trying to help out Var. Oh, and another win for Var. Just phenomenal as he gives to Hurley quickly. Now Hurley double teamed by Bissell and Donnelly. Hurley can run, but these two are a special combo. Hurley stops. Good speed demonstrated and no panic. McLean will begin the instant offense. McLean holding. Gets his hands free, rips. Missing again. Takes John McLean sometimes a couple shots to warm up, get on target. That's what we're seeing right now. 4:10 to play here in the second. 3-2, I believe. Unless there was something called I didn't see. Nevins dodging in a beautiful save by Treber. Ball down. Oh, Nevins beat clean there by the ground ball king, as he started calling himself. A little strange, Ben Cox. Benny Ruse will begin the clear. He's Hagen, who took his eye off the ball. I think Hagen's blaming the light. Could be a couple of factors. It's all right, Tyler. Lights are pretty bright out here, I guess. McCordick to clear. Pucci giving chase. Pucci came over and nice clear there. And Fitzgerald to work on Danny Gold. It's not a matchup that anybody's a fan of, working in on Dan Gold. You try and rotate the ball. So, Matteo into the game now. McLean guarded by Russo. Oh, Ben Russo falls over. A sniper got him. Feeds over to Hurley. Hurley very nonchalant, laid back, driving on Cahill. That stupid maroon penny. Feeds over to an open Treber and off the stick of his brother. That's one Matt will hear about at the dinner table. And it goes back and forth at the Treber dinner table, as we imagine it would. Treber flips over to Ben Cox. Jogging over, Ben looking to find Tom Sears across the nose, walked down by Murphy, feeds it to him anyway. Intercepted by Murphy going the other way. Will Murphy running. Retreating. They're going to show some patience there is Nevins. Nevins to Fitz. Fitz to Treber. Over to McCordick. McCordick guarded by Tom Sears. Tom Sears had previously expressed concern that McCordick would burn him. We'll see how he holds up. Flips in the middle of the Hurley, ball on the ground. Cox fighting for it. Again, another, like Murphy, a two-way standout. Phil Thompson just physical in there, but loses the ball. Nevins beats Treber. 4-2. A lot of celebration down there on the sidelines, a lot of fire. The Alumni seem a bit flummoxed thus far. Just a simple case, ball was on the ground, one team had to come up with it, and it was the current players that fought through there, fought their butts off, and ended up with it. Mastro Giovanni trying to beat VAR, who's undefeated on faceoffs thus far. I mean, he's lost the ball a few times immediately after. But Kroll and Frask on the wings for the Alum. Lavore and Murphy digging in. Mastro Giovanni beat by VAR. VAR has been phenomenal tonight. Aggressive. 1:48 to play, 4-2. Swinging over to Reef. Reef going into the game at midfielder just to provide a slightly different look here. Some firepower from the top. Carrying in, he'll go to work against Mastro Giovanni. Reef cuts behind the net. Feeds pass dropped, but won by Treber before Thompson can get there. Treber looking. Somebody has to be open. Feeds in the middle of Fitz. Ball's dropped. And won by Cox. I believe you can call Ben Cox lead-footed. I think that's fair. But very talented with a stick. Kroll moving in, rips. Powerful on the run, talented on the run, but quiet thus far has been Kroll. 1 minute to play. They want to cut that gap to a goal, give him some momentum going into the half. At which point Roddy will have to come and dig into his book of passionate speeches and try and find. Mastro falls over. The snipers all over the place out there tonight, folks. People just falling over. Foster dodging. Collegiate All-American. Oh, got hit a little high there. Fires open. Isov in the middle. Isov holding. Switches hand. Gives back to Foster. Foster rips. Not sure what happened there. I think it was picked off by Robinson regardless. On the move now is Dold. The Warriors. Dold gives to Nevins. Nevins toe drags. Rips. Shoots. Oh, went in. Treber beat. Nevins is nasty tonight. 5-2. Mastro staying there on the field in disbelief or potential exhaustion. I'm not sure which. So 5-2 with 20 seconds to play here. If you're the Alumni, not anything has gone right. If you're Coach Isaac, you have to be very happy with this performance. The Alumni are really going to have to go back to the drawing board. And now Cox to face off with Mara. This is going to be interesting. I've never seen Ben Cox take a face-off. I think his job here is just to tie. Yeah, okay, exactly. Oh, and it works. Good work, Ben, I guess. I guess getting toasted on face-offs pays off sometimes. Flips over to Isif holding. Fires picked off by Murphy. Not the turnover they wanted. 7 seconds. And 4 seconds to play. And it looks like time's just going to run out on this half. 5-2. Current Warriors. A disappointing out for the Alumni. Saw some positions with, some issues with possession, some ground ball miscues. They're going to have to go back to the drawing board, come back stronger in the second half. They want to have a chance to win this game. So we're going to take a short intermission, but we'll return with the third half. But the score is 5-2, Current Warriors. And we are back for the second half here. The Alumni are still trailing 5-2, which shouldn't surprise you because that was halftime. Ben Cox digging in with Vara. Vara's won every face-off. Very, very impressive. Cox is trying to hold until the reinforcements show up so they can start thwacking away. And they're really attacking. Big time assault here as he flips the ball over to Hurley. Hurley now in a bit of trouble. I like this strategy. Melvin looking away the lumber, just kidding. At no point in time was Hurley in any danger there. Hurley flips over to McLean. And they'll begin their offensive set. Over to McCordick, guarded by Derek Etzkorn. McCordick cuts. Goes right, gets the hands free. Goes down to Reef. Reef to Fitz. Guarded by Ruzo. Fitz working in. Fires to an open. Open McCordick who grabbed it. Couldn't put it by Trieber. Ball on the ground now. Won by Cox. Cox attacked by McLean. McLean fighting for it with Cox. It's a match with two great players. And they finally get it over to Trieber. He gives to Benny Ruzo. Ben's sprinting. Ben's got some wheels. Ben goes left. Knocked over by McCordick. And a flag. And now it's, Blutzer spinning. Blutzer running. Try to go 2 for 1 here. Across to Melvin. But they'll have man up. And again, we'll get to see this very potent but yet to be successful man up unit of the Alumni. We're having some window malfunctions now. We'll put that in here. To be fair, I may have had something to do with that. So, I'll try and put one on the board here. 5-2, 10:44 to play here in the third. Ed Foster holding the ball. Gives to Kroll. Kroll to Kyle Foster. Over to Kroll, trying to move the ball, draw and dish. Simple sports principle. Blutzer holds, rips, save, Gately. Big time save, that's a tough shot. Gately fires to Nauman. Nauman chased by Foster. Foster's been quiet thus far. To give to Trieber. Trieber holding, now on the attack. No numbers here, so Trieber's probably going to have to pull up. And he does. 2 man-up opportunities, 2 turnovers. Probably not exactly what you wanted. Trieber going to work on Thompson. Beautiful fake there by Trieber. Trieber goes to Reef. Reef guarded by Blake Frasca. Up top to McLean. McLean gets by Cox. Gets his speedy John McLean, very fast. Guarded by Kroll. Kroll has the height and size here on McLean. McLean's very quick though. Kroll gets pushed. Past Trieber, off the referee. Scooped up by Trieber. Unsettled opportunity now. Give to McLean. McLean, the ball's on the ground. Scooped up by Hurley. Mr. Ruzo, Ben's father, and asked him for some commentary. He seemed to think the alums would turn it on. He's been wrong so far, which is unlike Mr. Ruzo. As McCordick begins his dodge. McCordick goes right. High side over. Looks for somebody open. Gives to Trieber. Trieber right in front to Nevins, who finishes 6-2 Warriors. They're getting caught asleep at the wheel. Well, at the wheel suggests you're leading, which the Alumni aren't. I've been very impressed with Nevins thus far. He's a quick kid, disciplined, doing a great job finishing. And Matt and Robert Trieber are jawing at each other. Or maybe they're talking, I can't tell from here. And I am stunned that this defensive unit has struggled like it has. 6-2, 9:46 to play in the third off a beautiful goal from Mark Nevins. Bissell beat again by Vara. Vara sprinting in. Slide comes, miss. Vara falls. An effort in the crease, going the other way. Gives over to Trieber. Trieber to Russo. Then Russo jogs. A leisurely jog after he got floored by McCordick. Russo finds touch. The Alumni looking to get something going here on offense. They need to get these all-stars involved. Foster, Melvin. I need them to get aggressive almost as individual players, more so as a unit. And off the individual play, you hope something will spark. We give to Tom, Tedward Sears. Tommy going right, fast as ever, Tom. Fires from the parking lot. I think Tom forgot he was 20 yards away there. They're making things too easy on Gately. Gately's a very good goaltender, but if you see him coming all the way, even not as great a goaltender is going to make the save. Garfield, the track star, chased by Cahill. Caught by Murph. Murph in front of the net. Shoot, save, Trieber. They're not having a ton of success. Trieber's been very good in net. 8:28 to play, 6-2, the score remains. Cahill holds. Cahill looking for an open man. Cahill slings it over to Cox. And Cox will toast Nevins. As much as Ben can toast somebody. Fires to Donnelly. Donnelly dodges topside. Donnelly with time, space. Save Gately. Gately's looked great thus far. And this is going to be the confidence boost he needs going to the tournament. And they're barking at each other. Melvin drove home from Bates University today. They have a short term, from which I understand they don't go to class at all. Sounds tough. Cahill guarding Nevins or Fitz. Great stop there by Nevins. God, this kid's quick. Nevins holds. Attacked by Donnelly. Over to Warren. Warren dodging on Sears. Warren gets right, gets hands free. Save. Trieber. Gives to Sears running. Tommy, the ball is loose. Tom Sears somehow scoops it up. Just realized it was in his stick. That's one of many amazingly athletic, yet totally unathletic plays you'll see Tom Sears make all the time. Over to Foster. Foster, you're going to have to attack here on Vigoda. Draws in, the slide comes. Foster cuts topside, digs him with the body. Good check there by Vigoda. Flips behind the back to Bledsoe, caught by Kyle Foster, who holds. Gets space topside, save Gately! Absolutely phenomenal performance by Gately thus far. Ball's picked off by Matt Kroll. Just him in the net. Goal! Alumni, finally some life. Matt Kroll, that's about as athletic a play as you'll see all day. That's why I told him for 4 years to play free safety for us, and he said no every single time because he thought he was going to be hurt. As if Matt suddenly forgot he was 6 feet tall, 6'3", 210 pounds. And that the nearest thing that can hurt him appeared to be an elephant. Will I ever forgive him for that? It's very unlikely. So now Maestro tries luck against VAR at the face-off X with 6:26 to play, 6-3 current Warriors. Again, two phenomenal collegiate face-off men in there right now, but nobody's had any success against VAR. VAR digs in, wins again. Holds, goes to Nevins. And yet again, clear possession of the face-offs all day for Vara. Great confidence boost for him as well. Now they need to be patient. That's the key. You got to drain the clock, breathe any life the alums have out. Nevins going right on Keller. Keller very quick. Bound for Ohio Wesleyan as a soccer player next year. Feeds an open Trieber in front of the net. Who finishes? Nasty down low. Quick hands, quick finish, quick answer. 7-3, 5:55 to play. It's a common adage, but if you don't have the ball, you can't win the game. I don't feel it needs to be said, but sometimes worth reiterating that That's why face-offs are so crucial in the sport of lacrosse. You have the chance to win possession every single time something happens. Donnelly digging in now. Donnelly just giving up and immediately going to full-out assault mode. I wouldn't want him throwing that on me. Dold holds now. Another win for Vara. And they find Matt Johnson. Matt Johnson attacked now by Donnelly. Donnelly overextended. Ball's loose. Cox fighting for it. Cox falls. Awkward fall there for Benny Boy. Murph knocked over. Now Melvin. Is Melvin going to get a ground ball? Didn't think so. Blitzer holds. Flips to Gold. Are we about to see the Danny Gold show again? We can only hope. Because that was some pretty lax. Murph sloughed in now. Flips over to Blitzer, and we hope Blitzer's about to get a dodge here again. He's one of the more high school All-American. That huge goal against Hingham in 2010, one of the best games I've ever seen, an overtime classic. Goal dodging. Dodging with a long pole. Shoots, misses over. Scooped up by Melvin. Melvin to begin the instant offense. Melvin hasn't been really aggressive tonight. Fires wide. Scooped up by Cahill. Gives to Ed Foster. Foster holds. It's top side. He's going to spin at some point. Foster working on Greg Robinson. To Cahill to Kyle Foster with a short stick midfield. Let's see what Kyle can do. Fast. Holds. Fires. Off the post. Couldn't tell for a moment there. Both teams got lucky. I believe that's 5 or 6 posts hitting this game. You don't see that an awful lot, folks. Great hard dodge there for Kyle Foster. Sadly, has nothing to show for it. Treber holding. Treber guarded by Cox. They're working some of their middies in and out. Sick dodge there. Kick save. And a beaut by Treber. And Cahill to begin the clearing attempt. Great straight shot there by Kyle Keegan, a midfielder. Coach Isaac imploring him to look. Fires off the post again. Nice shot there by Connor Carodi. And again, another ground ball victory. They've just, it's just one step that a lot of these guys have lost. Nevins to Treber. Treber working from X. Cox drives. Shoots. Goal! And I'd say at this point it's pretty clear who's going to have the edge of the Treber dinner table tonight with 3:11 to play. 8-3 current Warriors. Not the performance the alums were looking for one bit. And they're going to have to try and get something going here because they are running short on time.
Yeah, I did.
Vara digging in. I believe that's 13 or 14 face-off victories in a row. Donnelly again just trying to make life difficult for him. Vara. Yeah, he definitely held that one there. Clamped it against the ground. And finally, Vara's lost a face-off. Gives to Ben Russo. Benny Russo very fast. Hurley lays down a check. Gives to Kyle Foster. Foster will dodge. Over to Melvin. To Ed Foster. To Blitzer. Blitzer dodges and Blitzer seems to seek out the contact. Gets his hands free. Fires. Save Gately. Gately's been stonewalling him all night. Melvin sprinting those long legs. He tried to ice pick him there as A dances out of bounds. All out effort from Andrew. Trying to prove he still got it. Fitz dodges, gets hands free. Nice dodge there by David Fitz. They're learning now with as potent a midfield as they have, they're going to see the dual pull set a lot. Where teams pull a closed defender off an attackman and stick him on. Probably either Hurley or McCordick just to make life difficult for the midfield. So Fitz, Mark Nevins, they're just learning to be more aggressive out there take what they're given. The ball bounces wide, scooped up by Ben Russo, who's probably had one of the better games tonight for the Alumni. As Benny begins to clear. Feels like he sprinted 2 miles. Ben looking, catches a little pop from John McClain, gives over to Gold. Danny gives over. Danny holding. You don't want to. Gold's stick skill is just unbelievable still. And he gives over. Kyle Foster works in. Faking is Foster. Foster gets his hands free. Oh, Buell took that one off the shoulder. Daly making saves with every part of his body. That one down. Ed Foster giving chase on Hurley, and he's just going to let him dance out there. Foster suffered a knee injury, it appears, by the brace. Didn't want to chance anything there. So 1:07 to play here in the third. 8-3 current Warriors. Over to McCordick. McCordick to working on a beautiful dodge by McCordick. Fires, save, Trieber. Great goaltending performance. Flips to Tom Sears. Looks like Tom out there running a route, and yeah, they're going to get you for that every time. Sears held on to the ball, though, so they're going to have a chance to go 2 for 1. This would be huge, folks. Bletzer gets his hands free. Flips to Tom Sears in front of that save, Gately! Unbelievable. They can't, it's like a code you can't break. Gately has let in 2 goals tonight, except for the one, I believe, you could count the one where he wasn't in net, but I'm choosing not to. Just a phenomenal performance. Just seeing everything so cleanly. So we hope by now this man-up unit, which has been flummoxed, will have some additional success. Hagen in now for him. 32 seconds to play. Jumping out is Murph, gives down to Melvin. Melvin feeds across to Foster, drops it. That would have been Foster scoops it up, which I believe is the first ground ball I've seen the Alumni win in about a year and a half. They give out to Kyle Foster, who fires across to Bletzer. Bletzer toe dragging in front. Oh, stepped in the crease. Another. This one looked a little more cohesive, but more disappointment. The face-off circle. 12 seconds, 11 seconds. Garfield motoring around. He's just going to run fast, I think. Giving chase is Melvin, trying to turn the corner. Oh, nice cut there by Garfield. And that's the third. 8-3. I'm not necessarily stunned by the fact that the current Warriors are winning. They've been playing and practicing together since March. I'm shocked at a 5-goal margin. Just really kind of stunning to me that they've had so much success against such a talented lineup. And they're going to bring it in, try and get them to push through these last 12 minutes. And yeah, it's the game of lacrosse, it's the game of runs. You start winning a few face-offs, you never know what might happen. Things might get real exciting here, folks, and that's what we're hoping for. Praying for, really, up here in the booth. I mean, you don't want a 5-goal margin. It's not a blowout by any means, any stretch of the imagination, but also not as competitive a game as we'd like to see. Turf due for replacement, I believe, very soon. Been around for quite some time, since 2002, maybe 2000 even. Still looks fine. Playing surfaces go. It's not exactly what we want. That's my 2 cents on the matter. I think we'd like to see a new turf facility up similar to what they have over in Dover and Ashland. And I think our kids' knees and ankles and everything you get from overuse on a wore-down turf would be very grateful for. So 8-3. So we into the fourth. Nobody's thrown up yet on the Alumni sideline, so if you had that bet, I'm disappointed to say you will not be winning it. They put forth a great effort. In a lot of areas been lacking, in some others it's hard. You know, you've been playing with your teams, you get used to playing with certain styles, and now you're out here with kids. You know, in some cases, Phil Thompson graduated in 2009. He's out here playing with kids 5 years younger than him. Very good player, sure, but that's a generational gap nearly. And it's hard to compare. Danny Gold, same way. But again, this represents the full cross-section of Medfield lacrosse. I mean, from that great 2009 team, the upstart team in 2011, came into the playoffs. I believe they were 14-7, not doing great. Upset Wellesley in one of the best games I've ever seen, best games I've ever called. One of the most fun, just watching Wellesley lose is still fantastic in anything. So Donnelly to go up against VAR. Donnelly's had some success, obviously not a tremendous amount. Nobody has thus far. It was a false start. Donnelly disagrees with the call, but it doesn't really matter if you agree or disagree. The referee's not going to change it. The subs came in there slightly strange as Fitz working in on Donnelly. Feeds over to Nevins. Nevins guarded by the short stick Russo. Nigel Reef. Up top to Fitz. It's in the Warriors' best interest not to make stupid passes, no turnovers, just hold the ball. You don't need to beat them in this quarter. You can lose by 4 goals and still win the game. Up top to Lavore. To Fitz. Fitz moving quick on Donnelly. And for that pop. Donnelly getting both hands on. That's when he's got you. He's incredibly quick directionally. He switches back and forth. They call a quick switch. Trieber gets in. Ooh, got some contact there from Thompson. Thompson's not going to budge. Oh, went fishing, missed. Save. Rob Trieber. Point Rob in the Trieber brothers showdown.
We're not talking about this game, Susie.
Tim Warren. Over to Nevins. Nevins on Ben Russo. He's going to take him to X. They're going to run a beautiful switch there. Ben Russo just trying to prevent the dodge. Ben switches back some. Ben out on Nigel Reed. Former teammates, hockey, lacrosse, strong brotherhood. That being said, I'm sure Nigel's just going to lower the shoulder, try and put Ben in the ground, and Ben's going to do the same. Beautiful pass. Feeds Nevins. Nevins. Oh, he's fun to watch. This kid's fun to watch. And it's a goal. Yes, it was a goal, Robert. I mean, my goodness. What a pretty goal. Mark Nevins. I'll tell you something. Shades of Tyler Hagan, the ability to catch the ball, fool your defender and the goalie, and score, and have nobody on the field have any idea you scored. No idea. Danny Gold's arguing with the referee. Not sure about what. Gold tosses the ball on the ground. Gold's not happy. I don't think Dan needs to listen to the referees. He's a college graduate, but at the same point, he's fired up about something down there. I'd love to hear what. Regardless, 9-3, 10:25 to play. Ugly display. The alums, but, they're out here doing these guys a service, and you can't turn down, how many kids would give up a Friday night to help out their program. It's rare and it's special. Even if you can't win a face-off and you're struggling with a lot of other things. It's special, and it's a nice talent thing. It's Donnelly attacks VAR, Gold attacks VAR, just working in there. Gold gets the ball loose. Several of the best pulls in Medfield history on you. It's going to be a struggle as they're fighting out for the ground ball. They've just been a step ahead on the ground balls, too. Maybe fresh legs, maybe young legs. Who knows? Ball still down, scooped up by Donnelly. Almost an own goal, an almost rare own goal. Trieber begins the clearing. Trieber always fancied himself a midfielder. Nice play there by Treves. Gives over to Hagan. Hagan, again, one of the top finishers I've seen in quite some time. Gives over to Kelleher. Down to Jack Isif. Jack Isif working in on Nom and spins off. Flips to Hagan just a bit high. Saved by Kelleher. Kelleher, very quick player. Will be guarded by Garfield. Another very quick player. And you're going to see a nice little dodge here from either Foster. I'd give it to Bletzer at this point. He's got the short stick midfielder on him, and that's exactly what they do. Bletzer, beautiful dodge in the middle. Ball knocked loose. Murph, great slide there. Getting chases Isif. Feed in the middle to Johnson. Oh, Matt Bletzer trying to lay the lumber there. It's a high school kid, Matt. Relax. Johnson holds. Gold not holding. Gold forcing another turnover. I'd never had the pleasure of watching Gold play before tonight. He must have been a force back in the day. 8:36 to play. Turnover. Phil Thompson has it. High school All-American was Thompson. Feeds to Hagan. Hagan holds. Hagan always has an eye towards the net. As an expert finisher himself, he's always seen to facilitate as best he can. Hagan's going to work from X. Hagen up against Keegan. Hagen finds a step, lets it loose on the ground. It's scooped up by Jack Isif. Over to Ed Foster. This is a strange set. Ed Foster dodging. Excuse me, Kyle. Kyle gets topside on him. Gets the hands free. Looking to pass still. Oh, that's a pretty little move. Finds Isom in front of the net who bounces over. He got hit from behind. That's a pretty clear push, I'd say. I might think that entails a penalty even just by the nature of that one, but much ado about nothing. Hagen working on Robinson. Really done a good job handling the firepower of this Alumni team. 9-3. It's going to be a tough defensive task for Matt Johnson against Kyle Foster, the Ohio Wesleyan All-American. Takes the pass, digs in, finds Ed Foster, and gets his hands free. Rip save Gately. They can't solve him. They cannot solve Gately. I can't even count how many saves he could. Melvin the ground ball? Didn't think so. Keegan takes it the other way. It's over. 6:54 to play. 9-3 Warriors. Melvin playing some defense now. I know how much Andrew hates defense. It appears to be a car horn. Nope. We're ignoring it. Ben Russo on defense. Ben's been so awesome tonight. Gold extending. Forcing that errant pass. Thompson scoops it up. These two must have been a whole lot of fun to play against back in 09. And he leisurely lobbed to Frasca. Picked up by, I believe that's Jack Fitz. Both Fitzgerald boys on this year's team. Jack and Dave. They are individuals of high character, which I believe they got from Mrs. Fitzgerald. Mr. Fitz is a man of good but not great character. Just kidding for you, Mr. Fitz. Great people at Fitzgerald, and both their sons putting together a good game, and they've had great seasons. Melvin playing midfield. You can tell by his lanky step. Dan Gold in the midfield. The way he wields that thing is unbelievable. Gold feeds to a double somehow. He's the long stick. Now, Isif slows, speeds up. Jack Ice feeds in the middle across the Melvin, who goes behind the back, and it's still saved by Gately. Who cares what you do today? Gately certainly doesn't. Surreal performance by Gately. And he dregs this one, 4:53 to play. Very little signs of life from the Alumni. Lavorda dodge on Mastro Giovanni. Gets his hands free, gets behind. Nevins holding. Nevins comes topside. Doubled. Vicious double there. Just got tossed to the ground by Thompson. It might have been a penalty, folks. And we'll see this man-up unit, the current Warriors, for the first time all night. And we'll see what defense the alums have cobbled together. Right now, they only have 4 people on defense, which is not enough. So a good Frasca out there. Wow, it's a good defense. Cox, Gold, Frasca, Donnelly, Mastro Giovanni to lock off McLean. They'll play a 4-person box. Cycling. Oh, coming behind is Treber. Smart play there. That's an All-American play. Against their starters, nonetheless. Now Treber showing off those midfield moves. Always very good at keeping it low, but almost lost it. Oh, dangles it. Throws it well high in the air. And we're right back to where we started with 4:13 to play. We'll have to try and get back in that box quickly. Mastro sloughs in. They got to run quick. Gives to Hurley. Hurley to McLean. And we're back to full strength here. 3:57 to play. Feeds to McLean in front of the cage. McLean holds, digs in on Mastro Giovanni. Shoots. Ball bounced loose. Good aggression there by John McLean. You know, these guys are not stopping competing on either side. Substitutions in for the Warriors. Smart move by Coach Ice to get your starters out. Let some other players get a good run in here. And also just avoid the risk of a freak injury. I mean, you know, nobody's playing to hurt anybody out here, but it's competitive sports. Stuff happens, and that's not what you want on the eve of a big tournament. Chance to go back to back. So, Donnelly cocks the double. This is probably an intimidating moment for some of these backups, younger kids. As Gold forces the ball. I mean, these are the kids you've heard about your whole lives. Great lacrosse players, your idols, and they're angry because all game they've been getting their butts whooped. So they're coming for his. Cox feeds to Foster, ball flubbed. So I expect to see some fight and some firepower right now from the alums. Instead, Foster, who misses, already more aggressive. They're to retain the ball, 3:18 to play. Matt Bletzer going to work right now. Could be guarded by Wes Richards. Gets by him, slide comes, holds, keeps it in, puts it through the legs. Hey, 9-4, looks like they're still playing. Silence from the crowd. LeVore comes out to take the face-off. You never know, you get on a string of face-off wins, it could make things interesting out here. So they're putting Donnelly on LeVore. We'll see how LeVore handles the increased pressure. Cox, Edscorn on the wings. LeVore senior. Face-off specialist. False start, white ball. Again, not what you want. Well, they're going to have to be aggressive. They're doubling. Jack Fitz not going to back down. He's an older brother. Kelleher. Jack Fitz dodging. Finds the pop. Keller scores! That was bang, lacrosse right there. Fitz to Keegan to the back of the net. Just pretty, folks. Very pretty. $8:47 to play. Excuse me, 2:45 to play here. We're running out of game here. 10-4. Just big confidence booster for the Warriors, but they shouldn't get too confident. They should be very grateful that they've had these guys to compete against. Again, I can't reiterate it enough how special it is that you have alums who have jobs, college kids, very dedicated. As Mastro Giovanni finally wins a fist. Ball squirted loose, but I think Mastro did win that one, so Kelleher has it. Nice play there by Kelleher as he'll try and get touch, and he finds it. Kelleher just sprints in, gives over to Melvin. Ed Foster gets free top side, holds. Gives over to Matt Bletzer. Now these guys have some life in them. Now they're on full attack mode, full pride mode almost. Tom Sears to dodge. Again, Sears fast, strong kid. Fires to Melvin. Acrobatic play by A there. Andrew. Andrew. Snipers all over the place. Losing his footing. Comes in. Flips over to Tommy in front of the net. Tommy can't pick it up. He had the goal there, did Sears. Great play by Matt Johnson. Dan Gold going. Trying to force another turnover. I think they're going to get him. Somebody's cleat fell off. I don't know if they're allowed to stop that play, but they did so anyway. So 1:41 to play here in the fourth. This one looks comfortably in the hands of the younger guys. But again, it wasn't for lack of trying, just, no cohesion. Tough day of the face-off act for two phenomenal face-off men in Master Giovanni and Bissell. But guys who had plenty of success in college. And he stepped out, blue ball. They're going to have to move quickly. Try and cut this margin down a wee bit. Give to Keller. Keller working left. Keller unmarked thus far. Keller goes right, shoots over the head. So, 1:08 to play. Not the effort the Olympians wanted as they feed to Donnelly, of course, over his head. Coxey, so good on those the ground balls. Flips over to Foster. 58 seconds to play. He's playing for pride at this point. Foster gets the hands free, rips. Misses the net. Ed Foster to initiate from the X. Ed holds, cuts left. Draws the slide. Somebody has to be open somewhere. Feeds Donnelly. Donnelly just wants to score. Flips to Melvin in front, who misses. No backup. Warrior ball. Story of the night. Just one pass away from brilliance, but ultimately still one pass away from brilliance. He's going to clear here. I believe that's Peter Johnson down there. Feeds over the head. Nobody's scooping it up. Ball on the ground there. It seemed like forever. Fighting for it is Thompson. Ball well on the ground. Big fight for this ground ball. Thompson will win it. 15 seconds to play here. Interesting to see what they do. Feeds to Foster. Oh, almost picked off there by Jack Fitz. Would have loved to see it. 8 seconds. Kyle Foster flying up the field. 3 seconds. 2 seconds. 1. Fires. Goal! And that hadn't been there all night, but it was now. Finds top corner. And that's it here at Calvin George Fisher Memorial Field. The current Warriors defeat the Alumni 10-5. Can't reiterate enough. Thank you to all the alumni for coming out, for Coach Ice and the captain's parents for setting this special event up. Always fun to see the old guys come back to take on the new guard. And if you are the Medfield 2015 Warriors, you got to be feeling pretty good about yourselves going to tournament time. Gately was phenomenal tonight. VAR was phenomenal, and they did get to rest their starters throughout that third and fourth quarter. Positives all around, no negatives to tonight, just a great community moment. So for all of us here at Medfield TV, I'm Joe Marie. Special thanks to our cameraman, Eric, and we'll see you next time as the Warriors begin their playoff journey. Thank you so much.
Production support provided by Medfield.tv. Access to our community.